coming for you. You're next!
Due to current events between former friends Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington, I wanted to make a video about fighters who used to be friends, but for many reasons, they turned into bitter enemies. And thankfully for the fans, they were able to get into the ring or the octagon and settle their differences. Let's get started. Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz started training together early on, and by being close all the time, they eventually became friends. During this friendship, they made a pact to never fight each other, but as it happens, they were both in the same weight division, and were both destined to be at the top of their sport, which undoubtedly will lead to a very lucrative fight. The UFC made the fight happen, and Ortiz felt deeply betrayed as he was pushed into the fight, and never wanted to hurt his friend. Liddell denied this agreement, and when the fight happened, Ortiz was right since he was unable to hurt Liddell, as he lost the fight in the second round by knockout. The rivalry grew even more after this, and they were on a collision course once again. This time, Liddell was the champ, and Ortiz wanted revenge, but he lost again by a knockout in the third round. Tito then agreed to a third fight 12 years later, and he said he didn't want to fight, but he was trying to help an old friend in Liddell since he claimed that he was broke. Liddell called him out for this fake trash talking, and Tito apologized, but the third fight happened and Ortiz finally got revenge, but I don't think it made him feel good at all.
We just commit. Oh, there Ortiz takes a right hand. Liddell's down, and Liddell is out!
For some reason, Shakur Stevenson had denied that he was friends with Jamal Herring, the guy he just beat to take his belt. They worked out in the same camp and even worked for the same trainer for a while. But now Stevenson is taking shots at Herring. Herring has always been known as one of the nicest boxers out there, and he was shocked by the character that Stevenson had decided to portray before their championship showdown. This clearly signals that Shakur is a completely different person in training, and they were friends, but in order to sell more tickets, Shakur has decided to go the brash way in order to get more money by obviously selling more tickets. Even in all the trash talk that Stevenson was handing out, Herring never said anything bad, and he said he carries himself with dignity. Unfortunately, Herring was unable to defend his title as he got dominated by Shakur on his way to a 10th round TKO victory.
Accomplished.
He's got a little bit of an anger to him too.
That's what blood does.
If you are enjoying this video, please make sure to punch the crap out of the like button. It really helps me out. And make sure to subscribe and turn on those post notifications. Two more teammates who invariably formed a deep bond and friendship were TJ Dillashaw and Cody Garbrandt, while they were at Alpha Male. Garbrandt almost got into a fight with Conor McGregor, defending Dillashaw.
What are you gonna do? I'll do something about it. Well, do something then. Do something then, do something then, Phil.
McGregor was warning these guys by calling out Dillashaw for being a snake and going behind his teammates' back in favor in Garbrandt and leaving them, which turned out to be true. Thus, this probably was the reason they got so mad about it. Dillashaw left the team, leaving Garbrandt deeply hurt as he felt betrayed by his former friend. They met in the cage at UFC 217, and the apparent traitor got the best of Garbrandt. The rivalry continued as they kept throwing jabs at each other, and eventually got another chance to fight each other at UFC 227, where things went basically the same way. Garbrandt's animosity was due because he believed that Dillashaw was only out for himself when he decided to leave their team, and he kind of proved it when he tested positive for banned substances when he fought against Henry Cejudo. Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali became hardcore rivals, basically enemies during their boxing careers, and their trilogies became legend. This relationship didn't start this way, as when Muhammad Ali was banned from boxing for 3 years and lost his title, his biggest supporter turned out to be Joe Frazier. They met in 1968, and Frazier wanted to get Ali back into the ring as they became actual friends. He loaned Ali money, testified to Congress on his behalf, and even petitioned Nixon to have Ali reinstated. After he was allowed back and Ali got some tune-up fights, the biggest fight of the century was made, and well, Ali does what he does best, and he started talking a lot of trash. He said so many things that Frazier got tired of it, and their friendship was basically over. Ali was trying to get into Frazier's head, but it didn't work, and Frazier won their first fight. Frazier then lost the belt to Foreman, and Ali upset Foreman to get the title back. Then they had a rematch, and this time Ali was able to get the win, but not before they got into a scuffle while being interviewed before the fight. In the third fight, Frazier threw in the towel prior to the 15th round, and he lost that fight. Ali had actually told his corner that he wanted out and to cut his gloves off, but they ignored him, and he won. Ali said that outside of himself, Frazier was the greatest fighter to have ever lived. They actually were friendly later in life.
Philadelphia, smoking Joe Frazier.
Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight boxer at the moment, and coming up in his career, he used to spar with his buddy Dillian Whyte. Whyte actually helped him prepare for 2 fights, but now they are going to fight each other in April, and things have been getting tense. Whyte has posted a picture of Fury saying that he didn't want any smoke, but then Fury posted pictures of their old days in the gym with a caption, "Funny how people treat you when you are good to them." Fury seems to actually be hurt by Whyte, turning this fight into a war of words, but he's not one to shy away. He said that he actually got the better of Whyte during training, since he's just a stationary target, while Whyte has said that he has dropped Fury multiple times. Well, we'll soon see who was telling the truth, as the fight is less than a month away. Jon Jones is not a good guy, as he has proven over and over again. His character truly started to show before his fight against his mentor in Rashad Evans. Jones was the champion at the time, and since they vowed to never fight each other, Evans thought that he would never accept a fight against him, since he wouldn't take one against him. But when Jones started showing that he was open to the idea of a fight, Evans felt deeply hurt.
He's ruined my special night twice now, and the time will come.
I gotta say, I'm gonna do my...
This shattered their deep friendship, and this started a year of trash talking that ended when they faced each other at UFC 145.
Closing in is Jones. Elbows the most significant strikes of this fight, no doubt.
Evans was dominated by his former partner, and the student became the master. Jones went on to become what many consider to be the greatest MMA fighter of all time, while Evans took a deep fall from being the champion. Apparently, Evans used to dominate Jones in training, breaking him down, but in an actual fight, Jones took him apart. Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington were best friends during their time together at American Top Team, even becoming roommates. Many times they were in each other's corners thanking each other after their victories, since they were basically brothers. But as they are in the same division and both became contenders, they were bound to eventually meet in the octagon. It all started when Colby created the character he now plays when he insulted Brazil after beating Damian Maia.
I knocked him out! Brazil, you're a dog! All you filthy animals suck! I got one thing to say!
The Brazilian fighters at Top Team didn't take this well and refused to train with Covington. Then, according to Masvidal, Colby decided to not live up to his word when he refused to honor a handshake agreement with Paulino Hernandez, who was Masvidal's coach, by not paying for his training. Covington then started attacking Top Team teammates Masvidal and Poirier, at which point he got kicked out of the gym. They stopped being friends and would talk a lot of trash about each other until they met up at UFC 272 to settle their differences.
Big moment when Colby gets a double leg early in round 3, and Masvidal of the night was Colby striking into his chain wrestling and grappling, which was clearly the difference, starting to wear Masvidal.
Colby dominated Masvidal in every facet. Masvidal only had one good shot the entire fight. They didn't settle anything though, and continued to be enemies. It got to the point where Masvidal found Colby on March 21st and allegedly sucker punched him, breaking his tooth, all because Colby talked about Masvidal's kids. This case is very recent and it's still ongoing, but Colby has pressed charges and Masvidal could pay a big price for this move. How bad would your best friend have to fuck up in order for you to fight them? For me, it would have to be a massive fuck up. I mean, I would stop talking to them for much less, but to actually fight them, it would have to be a huge mess up. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time.